Alright, Salakia got cut off again, you know. Satan really don't want this video to come out. This is like the fourth time I tried to make this video, you know. Video then got corrupted quite a few times, and now we got a bunch of, not distractions, but things hindering this here video, you know. Trying to do this video, you know, and get this video out here. Nevertheless, back in Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 11. For both the prophet and the priest are profane, yea, in my house I have found their wickedness, saith Yahweh. Wherefore their ways shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, saith Yahweh. So basically, like he says, they're gonna be it should be like a slippery way in the darkness. You know, they just falling all over the place. They can't get their grounded nowhere. You know, and you look at these people that go to these churches to go get so much advice on how to live righteously and how to, you know, get up out of their calamities and stuff like that, you know, but what's really going on with them, you know? They're in a way worse condition. They never really getting out of they messed up condition, you know? But you compare that to, you know, the men of the Lord. Once we found out this truth, you know, that was comforting unto us, you know. We still in this hell, but yet we understand now who our power is. We understand what his name is and his son's name is. We understand that we his chosen people and that we about to get salvation, you know, and that this world was created for us. It says, verse 13. And I have seen folly in the prophets of Samaria. They have prophesied in Baal and caused my people to err. Okay? So they prophesied in the name of Baal, more or less like, oh, Jesus said this, Jesus said that, whatever Jesus say, you know, whatever you do, you know, if you believe on Jesus, you're going to be saved, you know, and causing the people to err, you know. It says, I have also seen in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none doth return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom and the inhabitants as of Gomorrah. You know, that's a whole lot of stuff going on, you know, and those choir boys and stuff like that, they all in the, you know, it came out that one of those mega pastors was molesting them little boys, you know, and then Most High put him to death for that, you know. Not only that, but you have in the, you know, the Catholic Church, they be doing the same thing, but they also raise up our children doing these abominable things, you know, more or less eating pork, you know, getting edge ups, all kind of, you know, breaking the laws. You know, they don't keep none of the laws of the Bible. The only law of the Bible that they so-called keep is paying tithes, you know. And they're not really even paying tithes. They're just giving their money over to heathens, you know. So that ain't even really keeping the law. Verse 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery. They walk in lies. They strengthen the hands of the evildoers. And the hands of the evildoers that they strengthening is Esau, basically. You know, like I said, they over here giving the money unto Esau. Not only that, with Esau and his ideology and his ways of being, you know, he filters that down through the churches because he know that's how he can control us, you know. But then whatever they tell, you know, whatever Esau tells the pastors or whatever to do, the pastors tell the people in the church, and it just causes them to keep going off further and further and further. You know, and it says that none doth return from his wickedness. You know, Jesus said you can eat pork, and now you see their kids raising them on up and on and up. You know, and also this pedophilia that's going on and molesting these little kids. You know, and also homosexuality. You know, oh now you know homosexuals can make it into the kingdom. Homosexuals can get married. Oh, you don't got to put a homosexual to death. The Most High done changed. You know. But he says, they are all of them unto me as Sodom and as the inhabitants of Gomorrah. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts concerning the prophets, behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall, for the prophets of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you. They make you vain, they speak a vision of their own heart, and not out of the mouth of Yahweh. So look, don't listen to these pastors. They over here just telling you what they want to, you know, basically they telling you what you want to hear, you know. So the fact that you can give them some money, you know. If they are homosexual, you know, and they know that homosexuality is wrong, what they gonna do? They're gonna go find whatever pastor gonna tell them, oh, it's okay by the Lord, you know, and all you got to do is pay them enough money, and then they justify their wickedness, you know. It says, they say still unto them that despise me, Yahweh hath said, you shall have peace, and they say unto everyone that walketh after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come unto you. Yeah, go ahead and be a homosexual if you want. You know, ain't nothing gonna bad happen. The Most High will still forgive you. He still love you. He don't hate the sinner. He hate the sin. You know, that's the shit that they be popping off, and they have our people keep erring from this. You know, our people keep going on their wickedness. You know, if you was to tell our people the truth, our people wouldn't be doing half this stuff, because our people is a highly spiritual beings. You know, we have that fear of the Most High deep down in us. You know, so you know. And even like the 2/3 to some extent, you know, like when you know how it's in the Bible and you got the devil horns on Cesare Borgia, you see they want to come up and try to kill you over that. You know, that's how much they trying to protect their so-called religious type of stuff. But you know, and it's also that type of their religion is comforting unto their wickedness. You know, it's justifying all their wickedness, and they just happy with that because they 2/3. You know, that's what they want to do. For who have stood in the counsel of Yahweh have perceived and heard his word, who marked his word and heard it. But a whirlwind of Yahweh is gone forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind, it shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. Okay? And that's, you know, that's these chariots, you know. And in these churches, you know, they tell you that the chariots, they teach you basically like America teach you, you know. Oh, that's fictitious. You know, you believe in the little green aliens and stuff. But when the chariots, and they believe they about to get raptured up before this tribulation, you know. But when they see these doggone chariots come, and then the chariots start annihilating folks left and right, and they ain't getting swooped up, first of all, they're going to be scared of the chariots. They're not even going to be looking for that to so-called save them up out of this mess, you know. But then they're going to see us going up. They might think it's, oh, look, they're getting abducted, you know. That's good for them, bad for us. You know, good that it's happening to them, you know, and even better that it ain't happening to us. But really, it's like, look, it's good for us that it's happening, and woe unto y'all, because where's your salvation at? Y'all about to be down here, you know, you got to finish filling, or you got to fill these missiles, you know. It says, I have not seen these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. Okay? And that's these pastors again, you know, they out there speaking in the name of the Lord, you know, thus saith the Lord, but the Most High didn't send them, you know. Or they over here preaching and prophesying in the name of Jesus. But Yahweh said what? Many gonna say in that day, you know, they ain't gonna be like Yahweh. I mean, some wicked men that's so called in the truth, you know, that then snuck in unaware, they might. But for the most part, it's gonna be these Christians out here. Oh, Jesus, save me, Jesus. Well, we done preached and prophesied and healed so many people in your name, Jesus, please. And he's like, bitch, my name ain't Jesus. I don't even know you. You call me by some other name. I don't really know you. You claim you know me, but I don't know you. You call me by the wrong name, you know? That's like you walking down the street and somebody calling you, like my name Dawada. If I'm walking down the street and somebody like, John, and they tap me on the shoulder like, John, don't you hear me? Like, bitch, my name ain't John. Like, you're not calling me. You calling somebody else. Like, get away from me. You obviously don't know me. You call me by the wrong name, you know? Same thing is going to be happening here, you know. People are like, I don't care what his name matter, what his name mean. Y'all say, you know, which the scripture says there's only one name under heaven you can be saved by, you know. But nevertheless, they don't even know that name, you know. But, verse 22. Slack here. Hold tight. Verse 22. But if they had stood in my counsel and heard, and had caused my people to hear my word, then they should have turned them from their evil ways and from their evil doings. So again, you know, our people, we sheep, you know, we get led, you know, and our leaders was leading us basically to the slaughter. And what do you think was happening at the slaughterhouse? We was getting slaughtered day in and day out, not only by Esau but by the Most High. Well, the Most High was slaughtering us, you know, at the hands of Esau. We kept going off, you know, up in these churches. And also with these other abominations that we doing over here, you know. We over here eating pork and stuff, and you see the results of that, you know. You want to bow down to an Edomite, the Most High going to send an Edomite to sit there and kill your ass, you know. And then you're going to take your loved one up right on back up into that harlot house with that image of Cesare Borgia, another Edomite, you know. And you're going to have that Edomite sit there and bless your child or whoever it is that done passed away. But it's the same Edomite who put you to death, and you over here praying to him, asking him for mercy and all. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is the devil, you know. This is Esau's God. You know, Esau is a God unto himself, you know, because he a heathen. But like we read earlier, it said, look, they wanted to be like the heathen round about them, you know. They want to go worship some base-ass lowlife, you know. That wasn't for us to do because we had the ultimate power, you know. They didn't have the ultimate power, so they had to do what they had to do. But we wanted to go basically like the scriptures say, from a mountain into a hill, you know. We wanted to go from being, you know, in another sense. Man, you just sold this big-ass mansion to go live in a damn, in a Salvation Army, you know, type of deal. Like, who does that, you know? It says, Am I a power at hand, saith Yahweh, and not a power afar off? Can any hide himself in a secret place that I should not see him, saith Yahweh? Do I not fill the heaven and the earth, saith Yahweh? Like, yo, I see the shit that you're doing, you know, especially these so-called pastors and priests that think they're getting away with all this wickedness. The Most High see you, especially when you so-called in his domain, you know, and you know, you basically in you know, in the religious sect, more or less, you dealing with the Bible and stuff, but you don't think that the Most High of the Bible don't see you and the wickedness you doing? It says, I have heard what the prophets said. They prophesy lies in my name, saying I have dreamed dreams, you know. You know, they prophesy lies in my name. Oh, Jesus said, the Lord said, blah, blah, blah. But also it says I have dreamed dreams, you know. And what so-called pastor or reverend or anything like that do you know of who is famous for having these dreams that led our people afar off? Dr. Martin Luther King, you know. Homeboy sat there and told me, I have a dream that one day, you know, this nation will rise up and little black children and little white children basically going to grow up and live in harmony, you know. And what was that? Integration, you know. Most High's a separatist. He's with segregation. But what you do, you had us sell up all our property and all our business ownerships and all that stuff to do what? To integrate with Esau. So now, anytime we spend money, we just enriching Esau. We don't have nothing for ourselves, you know. Talking about him and his dream. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of deceit of their own heart, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell to every man his neighbor, as the fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. So again, you know, Dr. Martin Luther King, with all that bogusness, you know, and also these pastors in these churches, but, you know, this, I believe that, you know, this is actually talking about him, you know. Nah, you need to, you know, even though the so-called white man spraying us with water hoses, sicking dogs on us, we need to sit there and live hand in hand with him. We need to join together with him. We need to integrate with him. We need to befriend him, you know. It's not that we need to befriend him. It's not that we got a problem with him. He the one got a problem with us, you know. And the scriptures say Esau hated Jacob. It wasn't the other way around. We didn't hate him first, you know. We only reacting to his actions, you know. It says, is not my word like as a fire, saith Yahweh, like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that steal my words, everyone from his neighbor. So the Most High is not with these so-called pastors and priests in these churches and their doctrine and stuff. The Most High abhors that, you know. It's not a strange thing to be like the men of the Lord that's in his truth. We don't subscribe to churches. We don't go to churches. We don't believe. We don't follow none of that stuff. You know, it's a straight whorehouse to us, you know. And people think that might be a strange. They say, oh, we always see you preaching and you have a Bible. You know, you claim to be religious, but how is it that you hate, you know, Christianity and these churches and these pastors? Why are you speaking so wicked to them? Or what church you go to? Oh, you don't go to church, so how are you religious? Oh, you got a devil on you. No, y'all worship the damn devil, because obviously you ain't reading the Bible, because in the Bible they tell you about that shit that you into, you know? And it's not spoken about in no high life or nothing goodly, you know? But nevertheless, it says, behold, I am against the prophets that saith Yahweh that use, I am against the prophets, saith Yahweh, that use their tongues and say he saith. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, saith Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err by their lies and by their likeness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them, therefore they shall not profit this people at all, saith Yahweh. And when this people or the prophets or priests shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yahweh? Thou shalt say unto them, what burden? I will even forsake them, saith Yahweh. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of the Lord, I will even punish that man and his house. But, that's kind of going into a little different. But nevertheless, the Most High is not with these churches, He's not with they whole get down and they whole, how, the whole operations that they got going on, We're getting into Ezekiel chapter 34. Start at verse 2. It says, Son of man, prophesy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesy and say unto them, Thus saith Yahweh power unto the shepherds. Woe be to the shepherds that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flock? Okay? And this is these so-called pastors in these churches, these mega churches and stuff, the Joel Osteens and the Creflo Dollars, all these guys, it says, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. So they feeding themselves with this money from the the flock, basically. It says, should not the shepherds feed the flock? How they over there poor and ain't got a light on in their house, in their one little bedroom house or whatever they live in, but you can leave all the lights on in your 45-room mansion, and go hop on your private jet, go to your other little mansion, and take your Rolls Royce up to your penthouse suite, You done fed yourself to you full, but our people over here starving, the people that's the sheep that you, pastoral over that you leading, they over here broke and destitute while you over here living extra large, The disease have you not strengthened, neither have you healed that which was sick, neither have you bound up that which was broken, neither have you brought again that was driven out, neither have you sought that which was lost, but with force and cruelty have you ruled them. Okay? And basically we doing all of this stuff that they supposed to be, that they claim, if they were supposed to be in that position, this is what they supposed to be doing, but yet we the ones doing that, It says, the disease have you not strengthened? We out there and we strengthen up, our people that's, diseased. We put up prayers for them and stuff like that, And we see, we ask the Most High bless and heal them, Actually bless and heal them. We actually call out to the Most High in his Son's name, It says, neither have they healed that which was sick, or have bound up that which was broken. Okay? So, bound up which was broken, getting into that Ezekiel and the two sticks, And them churches, they're not telling you who you are. They're not bringing back the tribes, It says, neither have you brought back again that which was driven out, neither have you sought that which was lost, the lost sheep. You didn't go out unto, and what basically roughly paraphrasing, but go into the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That they're not teaching that over there. They're not even going into none of that in the Bible. They don't know who none of the 12 tribes are. They couldn't even tell you where you are in the scriptures, But it says, and they were scattered because there was no shepherd, and they had become meat unto all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. Okay? And because our people supposed to be our leaders and stuff over us, thou shalt not set a king over you from the other nations, But our people that's over us has got us going on to Esau and doing all the heathenistic things, being just like him, Our pastors is the one telling us homosexuality is okay, and we go get married in our church so we can be like Esau. Our pastors telling us we ain't got to keep the laws no more, we can eat pork so we can be like Esau, Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. As I live, it says Yahweh, surely, because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Okay? So the Most High about to go in on them, but because he said, because y'all didn't search for my flock. You didn't go out and try to find the 12 tribes to bring them back, Therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves any more, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they might not be meat for them, And the Most High done delivered the men of the Lord up out of the, these pastors who's over here, devouring us, But the rest of them, they're going to wind up, they don't want to come out of that. They're going to be put to death, Though hand and join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished, This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, start at verse 9. Oh, that's not where we want it. This is a rebellious, Isaiah 30:9. This is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of Yahweh, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things. Speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit, you know. If you was to go into these Christian churches and stuff like that, you know, and you see a homosexual or homosexuals in there, you know, and the pastor was telling them, hey man, you homosexuals about to get put to death, you know. They're not going to want to put no money in that basket, and the pastor ain't going to get paid, you know, so the pastor already know. And plus, he got that 501c3, he can't preach amongst that. And, you know, he ain't going to have no congregation, which ain't going to be putting no money in the basket, which ain't going to be feeding himself off of it. So, what does he do? He said, oh, no, y'all can be saved. You know, the Lord hate the sin, but he loves, you know, he don't hate the sinner. He hates the sin, you know. But it says, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit, you know. Oh, you going to be saved. You ain't going to go through the tribulation. You're going to get raptured up before that, you know. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us, you know. They don't want to hear about Yahweh, you know. They don't want to hear about that. They want to hear about God and Jesus, you know. Wherefore thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because thou despise this word, and trust in oppression and perverseness, and stay thereon. Therefore this iniquity shall be unto you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out of the high walls, whose breaking forth comes suddenly at an instant, you know. And you can keep reading on down, but nevertheless, basically you about to get punished and judged for this, you know. The Most High, like I said, the Most High abhors this, you know, because this is straight disrespectful, you know. This is Jeremiah chapter 11. I'm going to start at verse 21. Therefore thus saith Yahweh of the men of Ananoth that seek thy life, saying, prophesy not in the name of Yahweh, that thou die not by our hands. Basically, they're saying, look, don't preach unto us Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, or we're going to put you to death, you know. And if you see, us out on the highways and the byways, any of the camps, any of the brothers in truth and sincerity out there preaching this same doctrine, you know, that's what people want to do. They come up with death threats and stuff. We're going to call the police. We're going to go get our squad. We're going to pull a gun. You know, we're going to do all this stuff unto you. You know, this is what these people are thinking, you know. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, behold, I will punish them. The young men shall die by the sword. Their sons and their daughters shall die by famine. And there shall be no remnant of them, for I will bring evil upon the men of Ananoth, even the year of their visitation. So again, the Most High saying, look, I'm about to go in on y'all, because basically you just going off all day. You know, you don't have no remorse. And you keep doing it, you ain't gonna learn. So, you know, the only thing left for you is death, you know. This is Jeremiah chapter 5 and verse 20. Declare this in the house of Jacob, and publish it in Judah, saying, Hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me? Let me go back up. You got eyes, but you can't see. You don't see what's right there in front of you. You don't see that, you know, the same devil that's oppressing you and all the things that you go into church to pray to get relief from is being caused by the same man you bowing down and praying unto, you know. You can't see that pork is over here destroying your life, and every time, you know, you get into that situation, you know, you have to go to the doctor tell you what? Oh, you got to lay up off of that pork, you know. Well, why didn't you think about that aforetime? Why didn't you just hearken to the commandments of the Most High, you know? It says, Fear ye not, saith Yahweh, will ye not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for a bound of the sea, by perpetual decree that it cannot pass it, and though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet cannot prevail, though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. But this people have a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Says, neither say in their heart, let us now fear Yahweh, our power, that giveth us rain, both the former and the latter in his season. He reserveth unto us appointed weeks of harvest. You know, basically, hey, look, we ain't going to listen to the Most High that basically provide for us on all the things we do. You know, we basically just want to be heathen and go after these idol gods, you know. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay a wait as he that setteth snares and set a trap to catch men. A cage is full of birds, so that their house is full of deceit. Therefore they become great and waxen rich. You know, that's this bird cage. You know, that those churches is these bird cages. You know, they're getting rich. All you got to do is start your little church. The vulnerable people gonna come to you, and because they have somewhat of a fear of the Most High under their wicked understanding, they'll sit there and give you money. They'll give you their last little bill money. You know what I'm saying? Just to so-called, you know, feel a little bit better about the wickedness that they doing. You know, they going about it all in the wrong way, you know. It says, shall I not visit for these things, saith Yahweh? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means, and my people love it so. And what will you do in the end thereof? Okay? Our people love, you know, the fact that you can go to church and see homosexuals up in there and homosexuals getting married and seeing them being accepted in the temple of the Most High. They love that, you know? And they don't even understand how they're being destroyed by all that, or how the Most High about to destroy them for that, you know? This Jeremiah chapter 14, I'm going to start at verse 10. Thus saith Yahweh unto this people, thus have you loved to wander, they have not refrained their feet. Therefore Yahweh doth not accept them. He will not remember their iniquities and visit their sins. You know, your ass couldn't stay at home. You had to go start a horn with all these heathen and the heathen nations and their practices and their gods. You know. Then said Yahweh unto me, pray not for this people, for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry, and when they offer burnt offerings and oblations, I will not accept them. But I will consume them by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. So again, you know, the Most High said, look, don't pray for these people, because in the time of their calamity, I'm about to just basically fuck them up to the worst end, you know. It says, verse 13. Then said Yahweh power, behold, the prophets say unto them, ye shall not see sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. You know, Jesus gonna forgive everything. All you gotta do is put some money in this basket and believe on that name, Jesus Christ, and you gonna be saved. You ain't gotta worry about none of your sins. You can keep being a homosexual, and everything gonna be all right. You know, that's basically what they saying. It says, verse 14, then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name, and I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart, you know. Are they over here preaching to you, like I said, about homosexuality, eating pork, and all that stuff? They don't, you know, but they deceive, you know. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets that prophesy my name, I have sent them, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in the land, but sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. You know, most of us like, look, y'all got all these little doctrines and stuff like, oh, we're going to be raptured before the tribulation and this and that. Your ass going through the tribulation, if your ass even make it that far, you know. And even that, your ass more than likely ain't going to make it out of the tribulation, you know. And the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword. They shall have none to bury them, their wives and their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. Okay? So basically the Most High saying he's going to go through and run through and destroy everything and all the peoples, you know. Therefore thou shalt say this word unto them, let my eyes run down with tears night and day, and let them not cease. For the virgin daughter of my people is broken with a great breach and with a grievous blow. Okay? So, you know, let me just jump to the next one. Hast thou utterly rejected Judah, and hast thou loathed Zion? Why hast thou smitten us? Is there no healing for us? We look for peace, and there is no good. And for the same time of healing, and behold, trouble. Why? Because they in these so-called Christian churches bowing down into an Edomite, asking that Edomite to sit there and bless them. We acknowledge, O Yahweh, our wickedness and our iniquities of our fathers, for we have sinned against thee. Do not abhor us for thy name's sake. Do not disgrace the throne of the glory. Says, for thy name's sake, do not disgrace the throne of the glory of thy glory. Remember, break not the covenant with us. For are there any among the vanities of the Gentiles that cause rain, or can the heavens give shower? Art thou he, O Yahweh, our power? Therefore will he wait upon thee, and thou hast made all things. Okay, it's basically like the Most High question, like, look, who really doing this for you? Am I not he that basically created all this stuff? Am I not the real power? Y'all over here worshiping these idols, and that's not really a real power, you know? That's just some heathens, you know? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29. Start at verse 8. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you, neither hearken unto their dreams which ye cause to be dreamed. Okay? So the Most High is telling you basically, look, don't go into these churches, okay? Don't be dealing with these so-called religious people in these mainstream churches. For thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, let not your prophets and your diviners that be in the midst of you deceive you. Don't go over there to Joel Osteen and them. They're gonna deceive you, talking about you could be a homosexual and you can come on into the church, you know, or you can have an abortion. Ain't no problem with that. For they prophesy falsely unto you in my name, and I have not sent them, saith Yahweh. So again, they out there talking about what the Lord did in the name of Jesus and so on and so forth. But Yahweh Shah didn't send none of them heathen to go do nothing, you know, except for be basically put to death. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 27. And I'm going to start at verse 8. And it shall come to pass that the nation and kingdom which will not serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, and that will not put their neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, that nation will I punish, saith Yahweh, with the sword and with famine and with the pestilence, until I've consumed them by his hand. Okay? Just talking about back there in Babylon, which is in Iraq. This Babylon being over in Iraq, you know? Basically, the Most High was like, look, y'all gonna have to serve this king, the Babylonian king. But in modern day today, it's the same way, you know? It says, therefore hearken not unto your prophets, nor to your diviners, nor your dreamers, nor your enchanters, nor your sorcerers, which speak unto you, saying, you should not serve the king of Babylon, you know? We tell our people, we still here in captivity. We was brought over here in slavery, and we still here in captivity, you know? We try to tell our people that, and then you go into these churches, like, nah, you ain't no slave. You here in America. You free. Everything, all that's over with, you know? But the nation that bring their neck under the king of Babylon and serve him, those will I will let remain still in their own land, saith Yahweh, and they shall till it and dwell therein. I spake to Zedekiah, the king of Judah, according to all these, yeah, that was all we needed to get right there. We're going to jump on to the next scripture and go ahead and try to close this out. Well, let me read down a little more. It says, I spake unto Zedekiah, the king of Judah, according to all these words, saying, bring your neck under the yoke of the king of Babylon, and serve him and his people, and live. Why will you die, thou and thy people, by the sword, by famine, and by the pestilence, as Yahweh has spoken against the nation that would not serve the king of Babylon? You know, basically the Most High cut us off and said you was going to be in captivity. I've been bringing a nation from afar, basically to rule over you, you know? Especially in these times, we about to get salvation. But how you finna get salvation if you ain't being oppressed? And you ain't, you know, you got to give him some room to sit there and build up a case against his own self, you know, before he can get judged, you know? Therefore hearken not unto the words of the prophets that speak unto you, saying, you shall not serve the king of Babylon, for they prophesy lies unto you. you know, they over, you know, blinding you, saying, nah, you ain't in slavery, you know. The Edomites, or the so-called white man, ain't your enemy. For I have not seen them, saith Yahweh, yet they prophesy a lie in my name, that I might drive you out, and that you might perish, and ye and the prophets that prophesy unto you. You know? So they basically is like got you going off eating pork and shit so that the Most High will destroy you, you know? Also I spake unto the priests and unto the people, saying, thus saith Yahweh, hearken not unto the words of the prophets that prophesy unto you, saying, behold, the vessels of Yahweh's house shall now shortly be brought back from Babylon, for they prophesy lies unto you. Hearken not unto them, serve the king of Babylon and live. Wherefore should this city be laid waste? So again, like I said, they got to build up a case upon them, you know. But if they ain't, you know, if they can't build up their case, then how the Most High gonna sit there and judge them, you know? We definitely in slavery until the same day, you know. Next scripture is in the book of Amos, chapter 2, verse 10. Also I brought you up from the land of Egypt, and led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorites. And I raised up your sons for prophets, and your young men for Nazarites. It is even thus, O ye children. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel, saith Yahweh? But ye gave the Nazarenes wine to drink, and commanded the prophets, saying, prophesy not. So again, the real men of the Lord, they like, look, don't tell us what the Most High really got to say. We don't want to hear about the real Most High and the real, you know, son of the Most High. We want to hear about this fictitious fairy tale that's sitting here justifying all the wickedness that we're doing, you know. We want to keep doing our wickedness, so just tell us lies. Tell us what we want to hear. Homosexuals can make it in the kingdom. Oh, you ain't going to be destroyed, you know. The Most High just hate the sin and not the sinner, you know. My last script we're going to grab is Zechariah chapter 13 and 3. It shall come to pass that when any shall prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of Yahweh, and his father and his mother that begot him shall thrust him through which prophesied. So, you know, you being in this truth, you know, you might have a mother or a grandmother who, like I said, got all those images of Cesare Borgia hanging up around the house and stuff like that, and you come and tell her that, you know, Yahweh Shah Hamashiach actually was a man of color. You know, and the letter J was only invented a couple hundred years ago, you know. Nobody on the scene ever called him Jesus, you know. You try to tell your people that, then they want to be like, nah, don't tell us nothing like that, you know. Go ahead and tell us some lies, basically. Give us something smooth, you know. Give us something that's gonna be pleasing unto us. Tell us what we want to hear, you know. Nevertheless, but you know, our people is going off, man. I had to bring these scriptures out, you know, dealing with these modern day Christians and these churches and these pastors, you know, and comparison into the real men of the Lord and how men of the Lord would be getting down, you know, and more important, what the scriptures say, you know, how you're supposed to conduct yourself first and foremost. But also, like I said, the Christianity in these Christian churches is actually written about in the scriptures, but not in the light in which you think, you know. The Christians of modern day today that's written about in the Bible ain't the ones that follow Yahweh Shah Hamashiach. It's the ones that's doing the complete opposite of him unto this very day, you know. With that, before this here video get cut off and we get ruined all the way through again, we're going to go ahead and close this here video out. Lord willing, you was edified. Salakia for the sound. You know, I'm still in my car. I was on my way home from work, and I had to go ahead and pull over and do this video, so I wouldn't wake the people up at the crib. You know, so Salakia for the sound and Salakia for the multiple videos like that. We got cut off quite a few times. But nevertheless, Lord willing, you was edified. Until next time I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And salutation to you, Akim, pushing truth and sincerity on the four corners of the earth. Shalom.